Hello everyone, so we are here with Dionisis at the Boat and Fishing Show 2022, back into action. Happy about that.
Thanks God, yes.
And you are responsible for C4 distribution here in Greece, and an amazing brand.
Yes, we got the privilege and the honor to be the representative of C4 brand. You know, I can tell you that from many years ago, before I got the responsibility for C4, I was an admirer.
I must say that C4 has always been a very high-level brand, but recently, with you know, a little bit of change in the ownership, it's also pushing even more. The product line is growing, so many additional novelties, many revolutions, and maybe here in Athens you can tell us a little bit about a couple of products that you want to present.
I'm absolutely agreeing with you, Carlo. The main thing is that Mr. Marco Ciceri is a really ambitious and really experienced person. I think he's the right person on the right position. I'm proud to present you the Mr. Carbon Generation Next, Mr. Carbon 2. I think this is a jewel. It's not a gun, it's a jewel. Let's start from the hand grip. The hand grip has a lot of innovations. First of all, the springs. Can you see the springs? Right here. Except that makes the hand grip more anatomical. Also, of course, you have the ability to change the anatomy of by your own self, but in this case, there are two springs. Those two springs helps you to avoid the recoil. Another, let's say, innovation is the shape. The shape reminds you probably the sepia, the typical C4 shape, let's say. And then, if we turn around the gun, we can see two different positions for the reel. You can use the vertical, the normal, let's say the regular one, the horizontal one, and the other the vertical one. Okay. Personally, I prefer the vertical one.
Okay.
Because I'm Greek.
Okay.
Most of the Italians were fishermen. I think that they use the horizontal one. It's a matter of mentality, I think.
But you can do both. So
Yes, you have two options. Two options for reel, two options for the position of adaptation on the gun. Secondly, I like very much the shaft. The shaft, the finishing, the hardness, the fins, everything is perfect.
And one thing that, correct me if I'm wrong, is the real innovation here is the muzzle, right?
Yes, I'm arriving there, to the muzzle. So, the real innovation, as you said, and I agree 100% with you, is the muzzle. The muzzle has two pins, but movable pins, in order to accept two different pairs of rubbers. This figure gives you the advantage to move easily the gun from one way to the other, from one side to the other. So it's more flexible, especially as you say in Italy, the traversa shooting.
Okay.
But from the other hand, you have the ability to have a better aim on the target. The optical, sorry, here, the optical view is better.
It's clean.
It's clean, yes.
So you can show maybe in the camera.
You have wider view.
Yes.
To the target, to the prey.
Of course, it's totally open.
Totally open.
Also, you have the elastic fence parallel to the shell.
Imagine that at the same time you have a closed type muzzle, but with open view. Two pairs of rubbers. This figure makes the gun more powerful. Of course, they set up with a 6.5 millimeter, avoiding the recoil. You can approach 4 times the length of the gun easily, up to the brain, up to the face, and the shooting is really, really sweet. Another innovation is the way how to load the line. You can change, you can turn upside down this metal part with those 2 horns.
Okay.
You can move it upside down in order to change the way
side.
of
So you have some
loading.
like on one side.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes we prefer from this side, or sometimes we
And it's
prefer.
very simple. It's just this.
Yes, just you unscrew this with an Allen tune, and it's easily, believe me, it's easily to remove this metal piece. This one is the right one for free diving and spear fishing as well, but not for so deep dives. I prefer this kind of fin because I'm not a really deep diver. I prefer this kind of fin for swimming long distance, and for depths up until up to 25-30 meters is the best option. So the best choice,
Which is most of the people.
Yes, yes, I
Then
agree
you have
with
champions that go.
Yes, yes. We feel even though you're an amateur or you belong to the mid-range, you feel like a champion with this fin. So the main points of this fin is that you have the ability to change the hardness, because there are three different holes or position for adaptation. 3 different positions for adaptation. So one makes the fin neutral. For example, this one is 30 hardness. It means medium. So
It's 25, 30 in total, right?
yes, this one is 30. This one is 30, and if you put in the middle hole, then you get a real 30 for you. In case that you want it harder, you can move to the other hole, to the front hole. So you can make it harder. If you wanted to make it softer, for many reasons, why, I don't know, probably you feel tired sometimes because of the long distance swimming, you can move it back, further back to the last hole, and you can make it softer. This is, I think, is an incredible innovation for the market.
I tried it, and
At the
you
same
can feel
time,
it.
yes, even though you have a fin in 30 hardness, at the same time you have 3 different fins. This is really important for a spear fisher. You know, this fin has this different, as you say, evidence that the absence of water rails here.
Yes.
So there are not any more water rails in order to avoid the resistance while you are kicking. One point is this one. The other point is that this shoe it reminds you of an athletic shoe. So the fitting is much better comparing the previous foot pockets of C4, and generally speaking, comparing to all foot pockets in the market right now.
I must say that, as I told you, I tried them, and you can put them on and take them off with one hand. It's very simple.
Yes,
you
it's
just put the hand.
yes, just one figure. This is another main feature of this gun, of this fin. You know, sometimes when we are swimming for more time than usually do, we feel a bit tired. With this fin, except the adaptation system, the weight is, I think, 100 grams less than the previous one, the 300 footballer. That makes you feel more comfortable while you're swimming. You have the best fin, a light fin, very effective, very, it combines efficiency and very less strenuous, very less effort.
And I must say, we weighed both the blade and the foot pocket ourselves, because we always check. And on the market, this is the lightest fin.
The same finishing on the blade, but much more longer than the previous one. This line, we call it L1090. The foot pocket remains the same, but the only thing that changes is the shape and the length of the blade. Okay, this kind of fin we suggest just for the deep free divers or the deep spur fishers. It's the right one, it's the right choice for dives.
This is the L1090.
Yes,
L1090. Just to explain,
this is the length of the blade.
Okay. And to explain, this is all the 200 line, which takes the name from the foot pocket. Yes. Right? This special foot pocket is innovative evolution.
Yes, and the 200 becoming from the weight of the foot pocket, 200 grams. In order to increase the efficiency, we can put this insole inside of the foot pocket like this. It's an anatomical perfect fit, and makes the fit even more perfect to your foot, to your instep, and totally speaking to your leg. You feel like one. Also, if you adapt this kind of insole, this anatomical insole inside of the foot pocket, you decrease almost to zero the water leaking inside. This figure gives you more thermal insulation. Believe it or not, this is true. Also makes your foot lighter.
And thermal insulation means that in winter you have
during winter time, yes, less cramps, exactly. Last but not least, this kind of insole make bats in any foot pocket of the market. This is a really important issue. Really important issue.